In a time where everything is fast-paced and we rarely get time to reflect and grow as people, this channel's ethos is to help us do this while promoting that walk with Christ. So join me, beautiful people, and let's grow together. Welcome back to the Fullness of Philly. I am so happy that I could be here with you guys today again. I'm so happy that you guys enjoyed the last video. Today we're on a serious topic, talking about healing. It's talking about how to become closer to God. Have you heard that saying, hurt people hurt other people? Yeah, that's what brokenness does to people. That's what the lack of healing from a situation. For example, at a current relationship where the person may have made us feel inferior kind of thing, we carry that onto our next relationships. That makes us become sour. It's like you're almost looking for the person to do the same thing. And that's where the brokenness comes from. It comes from like, you haven't healed. You haven't adjusted your mindset to know that not everybody's like this. Not everyone is out to make you look like a fool. Not everyone is out to not love you correctly. Not everyone is out to take and hurt you, and you don't also have to inflict that much pain on other people, because what we tend to do is, somebody hurt me, or they've gone through so many series of hurt like in their lives. So I was hurt when I was 4 or 5. I was hurt when I was 15 again, by anybody. It could have been my mom, my dad, my sibling, my boyfriend, my girlfriend, my uncle. It could have been anyone. And again, I was hurt when I was 20 something. So we carry all these pain with us, and we don't address them. We don't heal from them. We come to new friendships with ideas and concepts, and it's like, when you haven't healed, what you tend to do is you take what that person may have done to you in the past, and you kind of adjust it a little bit, and you inflict more pain into somebody else. Now we're all following through a cycle of pain. You know what I'm here for, guys? I'm here for the healing. I'm here for the change. I want us to be wholesome human beings, because with the society we're living, unfortunately, a lot of us are broken, and we're all in toxic relationships. Like, how is change? We all say we want a better society. I see so many comments about how this brutality is not fair in this particular group, and this is not fair in this particular group. But it comes because individuals are broken in some way. Individuals have not forgiven in some way. Like, okay, let's say I inflict pain on you, you go and inflict pain on somebody else, and they go and do that to somebody else. It's a cycle, and it's actually so scary to think that there's no, like, people are oblivious to it. We just see the things on the surface and just be like, okay, well, this is not good. But what we're doing about it, we have to solve it. Now, for us to become whole and for us to find God, I know people may say it's not necessary to find God, but we could just heal, but we don't need to find God. Let me tell you the reason why you need to find God, right? You can't take God out of the equation and think that the society is going to be automatically wholesome, automatically brand new. It is too broken, one, and two, God created this whole world. And for you to take out the creator, right, from the equation and just say, I want this world to be perfect, but you want to take the being who created the whole world out of that, it is silly. When you think about it, it doesn't sound right, right? I can't be just the only one that doesn't think it sounds right. No, when I was looking to it myself, I was thinking, of course, the whole world is scattered because people don't believe. People say, even people that say they believe don't really believe, because if you believed, your actions would really change your behaviors. If you believe, you wouldn't want to inflict. Yes, I understand. Some people have gone through traumatic things, and look, I really sympathize with you. I've seen things, I've heard things, and I know there's real pain out there. People have gone through things. It's crazy. I understand. But when you allow that to control who you are and dive into your being, and you just almost are a pressure point of pain, you can't move forward from that. You can't try and heal from it. Now it's like a waiting time bomb. You're out to explode. You're out to hinder other people. You're out to not even hinder. The word is not hinder. You're out to inflict more pain because you haven't looked within yourself. You haven't dealt with the pain that you are feeling. A lot of the times people don't want to look at the pains that they feel themselves, because it's too traumatic, like to look at yourself and be like, okay, to really reflect on who you are and reflect on the things you've gone through and how it's affected you and how you've affected other people. It requires work. It requires a constant, like a switch in your mind that you have to really dig deep. It's not one thing where you can say, I'm going to do a 5-minute thing. It's like an onion, because once you start peeling, you're going to start, there's layers into it. Even in ordinary things, people think, okay, why do I get angry so much? These are pain points. These are pressure points. Like they are things that may have happened in the course of your life that means that you act out. That means that you feel some type of way, some sort of resentment. And the thing is, if you dig deep enough, you'll find it. Everybody's situation is different. Everybody has their own reflection to do. But if you never reflect, you're never going to hit that point of understanding why you act like this, understanding how can I change, how can I be better, how can I adjust myself. Because if we never grow and we always stay the same way, we're going to hurt. We have this idea that if we just only have money, if we only have all that money, it would solve all our fears, all our problems, all our, all our stresses, everything. But you know what, with a lot of research, I've come to understand that a lot of people that have this money that we really want, acquire this money that we, is never enough. But this money that we really want, there's the people that have it, the people at the top are most of the times the people with the most amount of spiritual stress, emotional stress. Like they just aren't whole. They just looking for something to fill that void. And they find that even money is not able to package what they're looking for. It's not giving them that peace at night. Yes, they have the beautiful house. Yes, they have the beautiful car. They can flex. But there's still a void. Like when they hit the pillow, something still hurts. Something still makes them feel empty, worse. So this is why I say we need God. Because there's the only being that can really heal our hearts. Like it's actually God. There was a time, guys, I'm gonna be so open with you guys. There was a time that, I would have been prideful, a little bit, like maybe a little bit prideful, there was pride there, like little things I would be so prideful about, or situations I'll be prideful about that I could have really like let go, but because of pride I would just be like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna speak to this person. It's okay. You can be on, get out, basically. But I come to realize that area of me was actually dead. Like there's some situations, there's no need to be prideful. There's a difference between self-love and pride, yeah? I didn't understand, it was all a bit blurred until I had to really sit down with myself and understand that, there's pride and there's self-love. And pride can restrict you from doing a lot of things. Pride can restrict you from even gaining happiness because you're too prideful to admit that you're even prideful, and you're just projecting blame. I just had to look at myself. Okay, Philly, this ain't it. Like, reel it in, baby girl. We gotta learn. We have to. And I really took my time out to try and seek the face of God in terms of dealing with that, because it also, how do I put it? It also kind of dabbled into a bit of anger. Like, obviously, when you're prideful and you don't get certain things, and you've restricted, because what pride does is that it puts a blockage onto certain things. You can't go to the next level because you don't wanna approach the situation because of some level of pride, right? So that means you could have easily got something, but because your pride won't let you go and get it, now you're hurting. Like, and I hate the situation, even though you may really want to go and do it, but that pride will not let you do it. So I had to come to that place in my head. This is self-reflection, guys, it's self-reflection. Don't judge me. I had to say, okay, God, help me with this. And I had to actively say, okay, I ain't gonna let pride eat me up. I'm so sorry. So you could have all these qualities, right? But if you have pride, like I did, if you have pride, it is an element that you need healing from, because it is also a restriction. You can't really walk in fullness, in wholeness if you are prideful, right? You can't reach the potential that God wants you to reach. Okay, guys, so moving on to just how bitterness and lack of healing can cause trauma. It's not just in simple situations where it causes you trauma. It can be a generational thing. If we look in the Bible, the story of Jabez, his mom gave birth to him in so much pain. She named him Jabez, and in Hebrew means I birthed you in sorrow. And for you to have that sort of name, that's like a whole spiritual thing now. This is why if you read the Bible, he was going through so much hardship in his life. He was going through so much affliction. He was going through so much pain due to one element of his life, just his birth, that controlled everything. And now it could seem so simple. That just shows you how generational curses are actually there. Like things are really, they're real, and how it took hold of his life, and how, you know, he wasn't even able to function. It's like he didn't even start life and he already had problems. This is why I want us to really search ourselves and to really like go through that healing process, because healing is needed for everyone. We all have elements which, you know, we're not so proud of, and that's okay. We're human beings, we're not perfect. But, you know, this channel is about growth. This channel is about looking at yourself. I know it's a difficult thing to actually reflect on yourself, because when you're reflecting on yourself, it requires growth. You can't look into yourself and remain the same, because you'll be lying to yourself then. You have to look into yourself and be like, okay, well, this is, you know, these are things that I need to change. These are things that are not right about me. How do I change? I want us to all change at our own pace, but I want there to be change, right? I want there to be elements of change in yourself. So you look at yourself next year, you're not the same. You've developed some way, shape or form. You become better, more mature, more, you know, Christ-like here. Okay, so we're going to go on to how we heal now, right? Not just, you know, the background of healing, but how we actually go into healing, and how we actually go back into connecting with Jesus. Okay, guys. So the first one is you have to make that decision, right? I'm going to put it over here. Make that decision. Decision to say, okay, I'm going to heal. I'm going to grow. I'm going to become better. That decision is so hard, because a lot of the times we make decisions every day and we never follow through with them. And when we never follow through with them, we just remain who we are. We remain the same, you know, still inflicting pain on other people, not growing, not making a change to the world, not becoming better. And again, if you don't make that decision and you don't put anything in place to make that decision, it's not going to happen. It's like saying, you know, I'm trying to get to work early tomorrow, Monday morning, but you know you're not an early riser, your body clock doesn't wake you up like that, but you have not set an alarm. How likely are we to wake up? Not really likely, are we? So more often we're just going to end up, you know, going through the same cycle and doing the same thing we were doing before. It's not working. So your conviction has to be strong. Your conviction has to be heavy. You have to know this is what I want to do, and do it. Yeah, no, it's action based. It's not just talking. Number 2, I'm going to put it here again, is allowing God to deal with those habits that you have. Now, those habits that you have are not easy. That's why they're habits. They're things that you're used to doing. Your body has absorbed them, your mind has absorbed them, it's become who you are. But we are going to stop that. Now it takes practice, it takes time, but again the decision has to be made, and you have to allow God. You have to ask God for strength, because we can't do it ourselves. Our flesh is weak. We want to go back and do the things that's easy, go back and do the things that's fun, because even that moment of pleasure is still pleasure that we miss, that familiarity. For example, stop smoking. It's not an easy thing. The nicotine is in your system. It's all there. It's in your bloodstream. But what you need to do is find a way to stop it completely. I know some people may say it's difficult. Okay, if it's so difficult like that, you have to make sure that you're limiting it. You know, after a while, you're going further back. You're going further back until you cut it off completely. That's how we're going to end up growing and developing. So there are different types of healing, but this is still applicable. You can still find a way to begin to, you know, rectify that, because we know that smoking isn't good for our health. Coming back to emotional healing, right? We need to first make that decision. Then you need to allow God to remove those habits, because like I said at the beginning, toxicity loves toxicity. So even if you're in terms of relationships, right, you're trying to detox from those people that you used to familiarize yourself with. Those are habits. Thus, we need God's help. We need God's help to be able to help us through those habits, because going back to familiar people are habits, you know, going back to smoking or getting out from anything that we want to grow from or heal from is a habit. Even the story of Jabez, he had to formally seek the face of God properly for something that was not his fault at all. His mom had him in pain, yet that generational thing was inflicted on him, and he had to personally go and pray and ask for God's support to get over that situation, even though it was the problem that his mom faced. That pain now transferred to his own life. This again shows us how pain travels. Like, it really goes to other people as well. That's why I promote healing. I want us to heal and become whole. So, like Jabez, when he cried out to God, when he said, God, please help me, give me the strength, give me the power to be able to fight this pain. I know for us it's habits, right? But we still need God to help us through the habit. Jabez wasn't going through a habit. He was going through like a storm and affliction in his life that he needed God to support him from. But we still need God to help us get rid of this habit, because right now everything in the world promotes God, you know, living your life the way you want to live it and having no set of boundaries, having no set of morals. And to be able to say, I want to choose this way and live my life, it is strength that not all of us have on our own physical body. So we need God's strength. We need God's support to be able to help us through all this. We cannot do it ourselves. Moving on. Next, guys, is to address your pain points. Now, a lot of us have hidden pain points, you know. We don't speak about it openly. We don't even understand it fully, but it's inside. So, for example, now, the lack of money will make us a bit arrogant sometimes. It will make us like in my country they call it borrow pose. So what it is like you get all the money you have and you buy excessive things. Really and truly, you don't have it, and now you come across arrogant, you come across very selfish, you come across very like, oh, as if you do have it. But the reality of it is, the reason why you're doing it is to mask the fact that you're insecure and the fact that you don't have much. You're not as financially buoyant as you are, and you know, therefore, you know, it causes you to feel some type of way. It causes you to feel inferior, not worthy, kind of thing. That's another element that we need healing from. You need to address these pain points. Other things could be, for example, you don't have a child, and you know, all the people in your age group have children now. You don't really, now you just act like you don't really like kids. You don't want to see kids. Because the reality of it is that it reminds you of the fact that you don't have any of your own, and you feel some type of way. Instead of just really like embracing it and kind of waiting on God's time, it becomes a build-up of anger, a build-up of almost hatred towards God. Like, you're even cursing God out. Like, God is saying, your time is coming, darling. Wait. But you're angry, and you're building up. And God, how can I give it to you when you're this angry? You know, kind of thing. So it's almost like all these things are built up, and these are kind of things that we're hidden, we're masking in different like ways, in different forms. We act as though we're okay, but inside we're boiling, inside we're tearing apart. Like I said earlier on in the video, it's like an onion. Once you start to peel and you start to unmask, okay, why do I feel this way, and you get to the root of it, you'll be surprised to what you find. And it takes time. To be fair, you can't understand all of this yourself, because we just don't have, for example, we don't have the time, we don't have the knowledge. It requires you to read more. It requires you to follow God more. It requires you to get to know yourself more. Development is not a one-day thing. It requires, you know, it has to be a constant thing. This is why it's so difficult. This is why many don't do it. But for those who want to do it, for those who want to grow and become better, you are doing a great justice for the world, and you are amazing, because it takes work. Okay, the next one is addressing your trigger points. Now, this could be many things that trigger us feeling this kind of way. You know, for example, for the woman without a child, she may be at a baby shower. It makes her feel, you know, uneasy. But you need to come into that position with the mindset that God is with me. I will have mine at my own time. You understand that there's so many things that could trigger you out there, but I'm not going to make it make me bitter. I'm not going to make it make me angry. I'm going to know that God's time is the best. Embrace everybody around, because with that heart, with that open, with that beautiful heart that you are, God is more likely to bless you, saying, my daughter, you've waited long enough. You know, this is your time. You know, you consistently say, I am going to be better. I'm not going to, you know, give off that energy of, even if you're not giving off the energy, but God knows your heart, isn't it? And that's the fact that we can't hide. Sometimes we don't even know what's going on in our heart, but God sees it. So you just want to make sure that you're open. You're trying to bring out happiness. People can sense there's a joy, happiness that's coming from within you, flowing from within you. You know, it's not easy, but one step at a time and you'll be better. Trust me. I want to use this opportunity to actually thank everybody who, in fact, doesn't have kids or doesn't have a partner and doesn't go out snatch other people's, or doesn't go out and be very vile to other people's kids, and in fact loves their kids. Because when you have such a great heart, when you have such an open heart, God blesses you. Number one. And two, if you go out and steal somebody else's man, I'm sorry, at the end of the day, that person will leave you the same way. I'm sure we've heard this before. The person will leave you the exact same way you took them. You can't expect to take something by force and have easiness. God really blesses an open heart, a pure heart, and I want us to be out here giving off that good energy, because when you give that good energy, not only does God know it, people sense it. People sense where your heart is coming from. You can't hide you can't mask your inner feelings for too long. It will come out in some way, shape or form. Somebody will notice. Okay guys, let me take a break. I'm sorry. We're doing this on camera. Okay, anyway, the third one, is it the third or the fourth? One of them, I'm not sure. For us to not make excuses. There's so many excuses we could come up with. The fact that we forgot, you know, there's some days that I plan to do certain things and you forget and you just don't do it. Yeah, what we need to do is forget those excuses. Now we need to step up and make it a lifestyle change. Now, like I said, if you follow those things that we said before, you will eventually get there, one foot at a time, right? In school, we learn about education, we learn about career, we learn about other things that really don't define who we are. But this is character based. This is development. This is another form of education that really enriches your life. When you're a good person, blessings come to you. I'm telling you. Like, I'm not just saying it because I'm telling you, but I actually experienced blessings and peacefulness in my life because God has developed me to become a good person. I wouldn't say I've reached the, you know, ultimate level that I want to be, but we're growing. We're all growing together. The point of this channel is for us to grow and become better. Let's not say we can't change today. Let's change today. And even if, you know, you fall off, let's get back on the wagon. After that, I want us to shift our energy. We need to shift our energy to the point where we are not saying, oh, I can't change who I am. You need to actively say what you want to be. Actually say it. You know, people say all the time, you are what you... No, that's not what they say. No, they don't say you are what you say. They say, that's not what they say. That's not what they say. They say stuff like, there's power in the tongue. Now I'm telling you, right? If you consistently say something, it does something. It does something to your noggin. It does something to your brain. It does something to the way everything is channeled. Now, if you consistently get up and be like, okay, I've made a mistake, I'm changing, I'm doing better today. You know, you keep speaking that positivity in your life. You keep saying a word which encourages you, which makes you know that, okay, I'm on the stepping chain to becoming better. Appreciate yourself because you're growing, you're becoming better. Not everyone can be at the same level as you. Not everyone can do the same thing you're doing. It takes determination, it takes strength to grow mentally, right, and emotionally. It's not no easy game out here, but we are people of God, and we have that strength, and we have that power, and we can do it. Let me tell you. Okay, last one I've got for you today. If you make mistakes and somehow you've done that same thing we've tried, we've been talking about not doing, we're talking about healing from, you address it. Okay, why did that happen? What was the trigger point? Why did I fall into that step again? But I want to urge you not to curse yourself out, not to say this is it. If this happens again, it's over. I'm gonna live my life the way. No, because growth is a constant thing. I want us to start so we can grow and develop into mature human beings with a lot of value, with a lot of goodness and a pure heart. Because this is what the society, this is what this day and age lacks. Don't ever feel like the mistakes means you cannot change. The mistakes mean you cannot be different. The mistakes you make cannot make you a better person. Just address those mistakes. Know that God will help you through, and actively try and avoid things that will make you go back into the level of mistake you did. You just know, okay, this is another avenue that can make me fall. I need to divert, make sure that I find another route. I need to avoid this situation so I'm not in it. I need to control my tongue. I need to, just actively, sometimes if you plan your day, if you kind of plan the things that could put you in situations, you kind of avoid them already. So I want us to plan. But yes, guys, that's all I have for you today. I do love you, my fillies. I think I'm constantly saying that now, but I do love you, my fillies, and I will see you in my next video. Remember, we gotta pray in all things, in all times of struggle, in all times of stress. In this, we're still in this pandemic. We gotta pray and know that God is by our side and He will support us. At the same time, do not relent to have a pure heart, and that takes work. It takes work. You can't be pure overnight. The society we're living in today advocates recklessness, advocates immorality, advocates everything bad. So to say you want to be good, and you say you want to be moral, and you say you want to be different, takes work, takes skill, but you can do it. All right, love you, my fillies. See you next time. Bye.